Did you know that many foods that seem harmless could be sabotaging your blood sugar control? This effect is silent and can cause serious issues for those with diabetes. But the good news is that with a few simple choices, you can improve your health. In this video, we're going to show you the 12 worst foods for people with diabetes. Foods you may be consuming without realizing the harm they cause. Get ready to discover how to protect your health and keep your blood sugar balanced more effectively. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, as I'll be bringing a series of videos to help you control diabetes and improve your health. Let's get started. 1. Sodas and processed juices. Who hasn't enjoyed a cold soda or a box of juice? Although they may seem like harmless options, these drinks are trapped for people with diabetes. They're loaded with sugar and, worse, they don't contain fiber to help control blood sugar. When you drink a soda or processed juice, the sugar enters your bloodstream very quickly. In just a few minutes, your blood sugar spikes, and your pancreas needs to release more insulin. Over time, this can lead to insulin resistance and worsen diabetes control. Moreover, many natural juices contain nearly as much sugar as sodas. Even those labeled no added sugar may have excessive fructose, which harms metabolism. The solution? Swap them for fresh water, natural infusions, or homemade juices, always in moderation and using low glycemic index fruits. And if you're craving something fizzy, sparkling water with a touch of lemon can be a great alternative. 2. White and refined breads. There's nothing like a warm loaf of bread in the morning, but if it's that traditional white bread, you might want to think twice. It's made with refined flour, which means your body quickly turns it into sugar. White bread acts like a sweet treat in your body, spiking your blood sugar without providing fiber or important nutrients. This causes your body to produce more insulin, which can lead to insulin resistance and blood sugar imbalance. Many processed products made with white flour, like rolls, buns, and flour tortillas, have the same effect. But don't worry, you don't have to give up bread. Opt for whole grain versions, rich in fiber, or try alternatives like rye bread, oat bread, or nixtamalized corn tortillas, which have a lesser impact on blood sugar. I know it can be hard to choose the right meals for blood sugar control, especially with so many options out there. But what if you had a simple, practical guide filled with delicious recipes tailored for diabetics? With Smart Eating, the nutritional guide for diabetics, you'll have the support you need to plan your meals and keep your blood sugar stable. Want to transform your diet and control blood sugar in an easy and tasty way? Download the guide now by clicking the link in the pinned comment below the video. 3. White rice. Rice is present in nearly every meal, whether for lunch, dinner, or even in traditional dishes. But white rice can be a problem for people with diabetes. It's rich in starch, which your body quickly turns into sugar. This causes blood sugar spikes, and if you already have insulin resistance, your body might struggle to control this increase. Frequent consumption of white rice can worsen diabetes control over time. But don't worry, this doesn't mean you have to cut rice out of your life. There are much better options, like brown rice, which has more fiber and releases sugar more slowly into the bloodstream. Other healthy alternatives include quinoa rice, amaranth rice, or even cauliflower rice for those looking to reduce carbohydrates. The key is to choose foods that help maintain steady blood sugar. 4. White potatoes. White potatoes are one of the most popular side dishes, whether mashed, fried, boiled, or even in dishes like tortillas and stews. However, for people with diabetes, they can be a villain. This happens because white potatoes are rich in starch, a type of carbohydrate that your body quickly converts into sugar. So, right after consumption, blood sugar spikes, and your body needs to release a lot of insulin to control this increase. If this happens frequently, it can worsen insulin resistance and disrupt blood sugar control. But don't worry, you don't have to exclude tubers from your diet. There are much better alternatives, like sweet potatoes, which have more fiber and release sugar more slowly, avoiding blood sugar spikes. Other great options include squash, nopales, and jicama, which are delicious and have a much smaller impact on blood sugar. The trick is to choose carbohydrates that nourish without disrupting blood sugar levels. 5. Sweets and sugary desserts. Who doesn't love a good dessert after a meal? Cakes, cookies, pies, they're irresistible, but for people with diabetes, they can be disguised traps. The main problem with these desserts is the excess sugar. Once you consume a sweet, the sugar enters the bloodstream quickly, causing glucose levels to rise sharply. And since these foods usually lack fiber, protein, or healthy fats to balance the glucose, the impact is even greater. Moreover, the excess sugar contributes to fat accumulation in the liver, which increases insulin resistance and makes diabetes harder to control. But this doesn't mean you have to give up sweets forever. There are healthier alternatives, such as desserts made with natural sweeteners, dark chocolate, at least 85% cocoa, and recipes using low glycemic fruits like strawberries and avocados. The secret is to choose sweets that satisfy your cravings in a healthy way, without harming your glucose. 6. Sugary alcoholic drinks. A refreshing cocktail may seem harmless, but if it's sweetened, the situation changes completely. Cocktails, liqueurs, and even some beers and michelada drinks are loaded with sugar and carbs, which can quickly disrupt blood glucose levels. The problem is that, in addition to sugar, alcohol interferes with the liver's function, which is responsible for releasing glucose in a balanced way. This can cause an unexpected effect. First, glucose rises quickly, but then it can drop suddenly, increasing the risk of hypoglycemia, especially for those using insulin or diabetes medication. But don't worry, it doesn't mean you'll never be able to drink again. If you want to consume alcohol, opt for safer options like dry wine or pure spirits, and always in moderation. Also, never drink on an empty stomach, and try pairing it with foods rich in protein or healthy fats to avoid glucose spikes and crashes. The key is balance. 7. Processed meats. Chorizo, sausages, ham, and other deli meats may be convenient and tasty, but for people with diabetes, these foods can be problematic. The villain here isn't sugar, but the combination of saturated fats, excess sodium, and artificial preservatives. These ingredients can increase inflammation in the body, worsen insulin resistance, and even raise the risk of heart disease, which is already a concern for those with diabetes. Additionally, some processed meats may contain hidden starches and sugars, affecting glucose without you noticing. The best option? Choose natural, less processed protein sources. Fresh meats, fish, chicken, eggs, and even plant-based options like beans and lentils are much better choices. If you need something convenient, look for versions without chemical additives and with less sodium. That way, you can enjoy the taste without harming your health. 8. Fast food and fried foods. Who hasn't fallen for a juicy hamburger or crispy fries? These foods are irresistible, but they represent a big risk for people with diabetes. The big issue lies in the trans fats, low-quality oils, and refined carbs found in fast food and fried foods. These ingredients inflame the body and impair insulin action. To make matters worse, fried foods are made with refined flours and coatings full of starch, causing glucose to spike right after the meal. And the high sodium content also contributes to fluid retention and higher blood pressure, which is a risk for those with diabetes. That doesn't mean you have to give up a tasty meal. There are healthier alternatives, like baked potatoes instead of fried ones, homemade burgers with whole grain bread, and even tacos made with nixtamalized corn tortillas. If you're craving a crunchy snack, try using an air fryer or oven to keep the crispiness without the damage of frying. The key is to make healthier choices without giving up the pleasure of eating. 9. Microwave popcorn. Popcorn might seem like an innocent option. After all, corn is a whole grain. However, the microwave version can be a real trap for people with diabetes. The problem isn't with the corn itself, but with the added ingredients. Many microwave popcorn brands contain hydrogenated oils, trans fats, excessive salt, artificial flavorings, and even hidden sugars. These ingredients inflame the body, interfere with insulin action, and can disrupt blood sugar levels. Additionally, some popcorn bags have chemicals in the inner lining that, when heated, release toxins harmful to health. But don't worry, you don't have to give up popcorn. Prepare it naturally by popping the corn at home with a drizzle of olive oil or coconut oil. This way, you keep the fiber benefits without harmful additives. For a special touch, try seasoning it with turmeric, paprika, or grated cheese. more flavor, and less impact on blood sugar. 10. Ultra-processed foods. Ultra-processed foods are everywhere. Snacks, instant soups, frozen ready meals. They're convenient, but they're a real trap for people with diabetes. These foods contain additives, preservatives, colorings, and hidden sugars that not only raise blood sugar, but also compromise long-term health. Moreover, they're high in empty calories and low in nutrients, which can contribute to weight gain and worsen blood sugar control. These foods have a very high glycemic index, causing blood sugar to spike right after consumption. The solution is simple. Avoid ultra-processed foods and prefer fresh, natural foods. Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean meats, and legumes are great options. If the daily rush demands convenience, invest in homemade meals with simple ingredients that you can prepare in advance. Real nutrition doesn't have to be complicated. 11. Sugary cereals and ready-made pancakes. Breakfast is an important meal, and many people opt for cereals thinking they're making a healthy choice. However, most industrialized cereals, especially sugary ones, can be a trap for people with diabetes. These cereals are packed with added sugars, colorings, and preservatives, and almost always have a high glycemic index. This means that by consuming them, blood sugar spikes quickly, which harms blood sugar control. Additionally, they lack the necessary amount of fiber to stabilize glucose levels. The same goes for ready-made pancakes, which are loaded with refined sugars and white flours. They might seem like a quick and tasty option, but they're a nightmare for those trying to control diabetes. The best option is to prepare your own breakfast. Choose unsweetened whole grain cereals like oats and add fresh fruit or nuts. Homemade pancakes made with almond flour or oats are also excellent choices as they contain more fiber and have less impact on blood sugar. 12. Honey and syrups. Honey and syrups, such as agave and maple syrup, are often seen as natural alternatives to refined sugar. But for people with diabetes, they can be just as problematic as regular sugar. Although honey contains some beneficial nutrients, it is still primarily made up of sugars that cause blood sugar levels to rise quickly. Syrups, often considered healthy options, are also packed with concentrated sugars and significantly impact blood glucose levels. While honey has antioxidant properties, this doesn't make it an ideal choice for those needing to control blood sugar. When consumed in excess, it can cause blood sugar spikes and lead to weight gain, another risk factor for diabetes complications. If you're looking for something healthier to sweeten your food, there are better alternatives like low-glycemic natural sweeteners, such as stevia or xylitol. The key is to consume sweeteners in moderation and always choose fresh, unprocessed foods to maintain glucose balance. Now that you know the worst foods for diabetes, it's time to make more informed decisions about what to put on your plate. Remember, small changes can have a big impact on your blood sugar control and overall health. If you liked the video, leave your comment below, share your questions or experiences, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any important content on how to live better with diabetes. See you in the next video.